Hey y'all, what's up? It comes to the time where you need to increase your self-esteem and your self-respect. Then you won't go put yourself in these type of situations. Check it. Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Tom Mizzle. You watch my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of MTV Catfish Season 8, Episode 63, Ivy and Dante. Y'all, this review is not gonna be long because I'm sorry, it's a day later. I usually put this review up on Wednesdays, but since my DVR didn't record it, so I had to record it the next day, so it coming up late this year. So that's when, you know what, this it coming up today on Thursday. So I'm not gonna try to keep y'all too long with the review because, to be honest, I wasn't really feeling this episode. I really didn't care about the storyline too much, all these emotions, all this crying, all that stuff like that. Because I was like, why are you going through this with someone 5 years you never met? I just don't understand that. And then you get so much emotions involved. Like, I understand, I'm not knocking the people and the feelings could be real, but I'm just like, what at what point are we gonna stop doing the doing the craziness for people? The bare minimum. The disrespect. Like, the boundary courses, like no time, no respect for your time and your energy that you put into a relationship. But at the same time, you as a person gotta know when you could have enough. And you don't have to be in the show to get that closure. You need to have that for your own. But when we so much want to focus on finding love and being with someone, and then they showing you they're not giving you the opportunity to be with you or at least put the effort to see you. Like, at least you're not even that far apart from each other that y'all couldn't be to see each other. Nobody say you have to see each other every day. At least once a week or something. Y'all only 4 hours apart. Y'all could at least meet once a week or twice a week until y'all get comfortable with seeing more each other. I just say it's like, I know everybody got their moments. Everybody got their own times and points of period of time where you want someone so bad, but they don't reciprocate. So it takes a while. But it's only like that if you was with the person. It's something different ball game when you haven't been seeing this person. And you use five, like I give you a couple of months, like six, couple of months. But as you start going to years and years and years, and y'all talking on the phone, and conversation, and texting, and you just never met each other. Come on now. At some point, you have to realize it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So this episode marks the 200th episode of Catfish. Congratulations, y'all! 200 episodes. This is a long journey, and surprised they had a celebration beginning. And Max, the old co-host of Neve, and Kamie replaced Max, so he was there, and it was so nice to see him. They blew out the candles, and he was there for the beginning for moral support. Basically do the email reading. After that, I always say Kamie, yeah, Kamie and Neve was on their own from there. And he said, that's it. I ain't going anywhere with y'all. Max said, I'm done with the show. I'm not here. Y'all go ahead. I'm just here for more support. If you need me, I'm here, but I'm not traveling. So Ivy wrote the show, and she said she need help. Talking about the person that she was talking to, Dante, for 5+ years. She lived in Dallas, Texas. He lived 4 hours away in Louisiana somewhere. So it was like, it's not far apart. So every time she said, in 2016, she was on a dating app. He reached out to her and they started talking. A week after that, they exchanged numbers and they had been talking on the phone and texting each other ever since. Now, everything all said and done, since they only 4 hours away, she was trying to meet him. But 5 years of excuses and 5 years excuses and no meetup in person. That's how I was saying in the beginning of this episode. Like, at what point you had to put a stop to allowing yourself being a punching bag or a doormat for someone to step over you, to walk over you, to beat you up. And not physically, I mean figuratively. Not literally, but figuratively. And it was like, we got to stop doing that. So at the first time he wasn't meeting, like 5 years of no meetup, you should have moved on to the next person. Point blank period. Block him, cut him off, everything. We didn't have to need this episode, but here, this episode is here, so we're going to continue talking. So, 5 years excuses, no meetup in person. And she said 2018, she had a bad car accident. And for a while, he has been there for her. Had consoled her, had talked to her through her accident, and do her aftermath of her emotions and feelings of the current incidents in her life, which is a sad situation to go through. And the fact that you might not have nobody to talk to, and then this guy here to talk to. Now, he promised that he would come and see her and check up on her, and he never did. She was hoping for that because that was somebody she was hoping to talk to and see, because he'd give her comfort on the phone and stuff. But it would be great if she would have seen him in person. But, that's his MO. He, well, because the point when he gets to meet, he just goes and he stops. And I was like, what is his angle? Like, if he keeps talking to you, but still, like, not meeting up with you, what is it? What is he hiding? Like, what is going on? So they did a small investigation, but they read a poem because they said, let's check her text messages that they were on back and forth. She showed them the text messages, and he had poems, and he had a way with words. He had a way with words, but unfortunately, his words doesn't match his actions. Now, if his actions was matching how he was doing his words, best believe we will not have this in this episode right now. They would be happy right now. They'd be good and everything, because she was just holding off being with this guy. And he just kept playing her, playing to the left. And she just willing to go through this. And at some point, you have to understand that it's you, Ivy, as well. You willing to have this happen so badly. You ignoring everything he has been doing. He's just not meeting up with you. And yes, the conversations is great, but are you in love with the person, or are you loving the conversation? Because I think people who go through years and years and years of talking to someone and no FaceTime, no meetup, it's because you love the conversations. You love someone talking to, someone you could talk to. And it doesn't matter if you meet up or not, but someone to talk with. But since you want something more out of it, you want the meetup and FaceTime. But they ducking and dodging. So since they ducking and dodging, that just shows you they're not respecting your time, because anybody who wants to make it work, they will make it work. All the excuses is ridiculous. So like that. So they did an investigation, the photo search, it was no hits. Then they did a Instagram search with Dante Fair, and they saw a post, but it was a lot of pictures, but barely any comments and some likes. So, and then they said this page was created back around 2015. So that's around the time that he hit up Ivy. It was around 2016 when they started talking. Okay? And then they look at the phone numbers, and they saw a phone number search. And then they say, no one, let's look something up. And then they said they expand the thing to Monroe, Louisiana. And they searched a Facebook page, and it came up with a hit. A guy named Joe, because at the time when she gave them the update, she said that he's 30 years old, and he mentioned that he was a correctional officer. So when they did a search, that Facebook, they saw a guy named Joe, and he's married with kids, and he worked in correctional facility. I said, oh, this could be this guy, or it could be someone else. We don't know. So they say they kind of stuck. So they let Ivy know about everything, and she was like, but and she said she haven't got much sleep. I said, I don't know what was going on in this conversation that you losing sleep over this guy. You constantly crying over him. You physically getting sick. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to understand, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I'm trying to understand why someone has so much emotion for someone they never met. Yes, you may feel some way, but like, I know sometimes people have kindred spirits, and so like you feel like this person is just meet your soul, and y'all have great conversations, which is great. Cause words could mean something, but words doesn't mean nothing without the action back to it. Cause it's just basically words. So it's like if he's not congruently meeting you, why he giving you these sweet talking words, then he just talking out of nonsense to keep you wrapped in. And since you keep falling for it, this is what it is. So they said, you know what, we just gotta text him. So they text him, and after they text him, they didn't get no response from him. So the next day, Then they say, oh, they waited. They waited for a while. They said, let's go. Let's text him. Let's wait. They get no response from him. So they called Ivy and they said, did you talk to him? She said, I did. He called me. And I said, what's going on? She said, well, I told him how I felt and everything. And he said, he apologized. And he said, you know what? I get to meet you. And I said, oh, after all this time, he can meet you all of a sudden? All of a sudden, he can meet you now. And I said, that thing was too smooth and too easy. Because in 5 years, he been ducking and dodging you. And that all of a sudden, that he texted that Catfish is here and everything, he called you and said, oh, we could meet. And then when can we meet? We could meet tomorrow. And I come over there to meet you. That easy. Okay, so they said he might not even show up. So later on the next day, they still get a response like that. So while they was talking and they were talking to Ivy, that's when they get a message. They would say, you know what, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't be there. I can't make it over there. I'm still in West Monroe. So they said, okay, can we meet over there to you? We can meet over there to you. And that's okay with you. He said, okay, fine, I'm trying to make it away and everything. Let you know. So they traveled to Monroe, West Monroe, Louisiana. And they said, let's go to the next day. And he said, cool. I thought about it. I was really wanted to see you and everything. I'll give you a state and time and everything. So the next day, they haven't heard anything from that for him. And then Ivy came to their room and she haven't heard anything. So the minute that she walked in, that's when he responded. I said, that kind of coincidence. Okay. He responded. He said, okay, I really thought about it. I want to be with you and everything. So here's the place I'm going to be at, and I'm going to be there. So they got over there, and lo and behold, he was sitting there on the bench when they arrived there, and Ivy pointed him out first. So when they got the car, they walked, and they got to him, and she called out his name, Dante. He got up and did like this. And no lie, most of the confrontation, he was made like this. He really gave eye contact, and he was looking down, and then he talking to the ground, and talking to the table. He kept looking down. Every now and then, he would look up, and then he'd go right back down. Look up and go back down. But majority of the time he was talking with his head down. I said, can we talk with your eyes? Like, we got to do it. But, some people don't get comfortable talking face to face like this, and eye contact. And some people will look away from your eyes. And that's what it is. So he kept talking. And I'm sorry, this confrontation sit down was uneventful to me. It was uneventful. Because most of the time he kept saying, I'm sorry. Everything I told you was real. My feelings for you was real. But the only thing that was not real was the pictures. But everything I told you was real. I was sorry. Yes, my feelings is real for you. I don't know why I did this to you, but my feelings is real for you. Y'all get the picture. Every other word, every other sentence was my feelings was real for you. And I'm sorry I did this to you, but my feelings were real for you. And I was getting annoyed sitting here. I was like, okay, we get it. But why do you keep sending this girl up? For 5 years. So Ivy started crying a lot. And then she said she needs a break. And then this is that. And then this is that. And I was like, so they finally get to sit down and talk. And he said the same thing over and over. I'm sorry I did this. My feelings my feelings for you. And I was saying, can we get to understand why you was doing this? Like, why? Can we get to the point? Can we get the reason? So she needed a break again, and they say, you know what? Go. So listen, let's go down next day tomorrow. I know there's a lot going on today, and then have a sit down, have a clear sit down, and just talk and clear the air, have a fresh start. Okay. And he said he has a poem. I said, okay, here's the poem. He said, like, bring the poem tomorrow and they could talk to us, right? They came the next day. They sat down. He came in and basically told the Atlanta story that around 2019, he had a stroke. He had a stroke. He was in a restaurant one day, and then he got up and then he passed out, something like that. And he had a stroke, and then he was hospital for a while. Cause I couldn't understand how long he said he was in the hospital. I think it's 4 months. Y'all correct me in the comment section how long he said he was in the hospital, but he said it was a long time, and then the panorama happened, so it was a lot going on with him. So he really didn't want to bring that to her and let her know. I know he was there for her when she had her car accident, but he never really told her that he had one. He had a stroke, and he didn't want to put a burden on her. So he hold that in. But one thing, you hold the things in, it doesn't do well for you because you keep holding it in, and it bottles up, it eats you inside. Then you your mind start playing things on you because now you're gonna get depressed or you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get up. Your mind's getting different emotions because you're not speaking the things out. When you hold it in, it boils over. Your emotions all over. It's a wreck. So might lash out to some people. You might withdraw and it's like this. It's not good to hold things in. So speak it out. As you was there for her, why she couldn't be there for you? You could have said something. And he don't get me wrong, he did look like he was a malicious, mean type of guy. I just don't understand. Maybe he can't give what he can't provide, what he can't get himself. He's not there together for yet. What I mean that he's not up to point that he could give someone his all in a relationship. He needs to work on himself, and I think Ivy needs to work on herself. They both need to work on themselves, and I think the relationship from them both will not be conducive or be a great relationship, conducive for a happy, healthy relationship if they both would have been together. It couldn't be without extensive therapy. So he read her a poem and or an apology letter. It looked like it was more an apology letter than a poem. But she said, let me get a hug. And she was a hugger because she said, oh, let's hug you. Let's hug, let's hug. And that's it. But she said, let's start over with a blank slate. Let's start over really as friends and build a friendship. And then can we get to romantic level? We jump in that bridge when we can. But at this point, let's just stay right here as friends. And he said, I wish it could be more, but hey, let's start it. 2 months later, then she said she tried, but it's the same as before. So she gave him 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, that she cut him. She cut him off. She cut him off. She said she not stopped talking to him. She's free. She's good, and she wasn't gonna live her life. So weight is lifted off her shoulder. She got her big, heavy burden is lifted off of her, so she could move on her life. They did a checkup with Dante. Well, actually, his name is Joe, and and he says it's good. Like he a big piece lift over his shoulder. He's at peace. Burden lift off his shoulder, just as Ivy said, and he just working on himself and doing good. So they both doing the good, and they both move on from their lives. That was my review, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. I know I was kind of like, I was, I was, I was sympathetic. I understand them, but at the same time, I just couldn't get, I just can't get with it. So I ain't trying to be mean or nothing like that. I just couldn't get with it. So I hope y'all understand. Right? Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Peace out.